and they say it's the best thing that ever happened to them, or vice versa. Some people are like, I just don't want children.
When Spencer doesn't want to do something, he doesn't want to do it. And if Spencer really wanted a drink, I think he'd put his foot down and say, it's the pregnancy.
You read it then, hun. You read it out. I wouldn't like it.
I'd hate it.
I wouldn't like it. But I don't want you to feel like we're being like that, because I think there is so much pressure though. There's so much pressure in society.
I was such a funny girl at school. I remember.
Gondola.
No. Do you know the Muffin Man? You're good at it as well.
Okay. Oh, the belly's out. Hello, everyone.
No. I went all cranky. Hello.
Hello, courier.
It's been so long.
Mum can't get over the way I keep saying, what is it, courier?
Yeah, she keeps saying couriers.
What is it?
Couriers.
Couriers.
Couriers. So she keeps saying, she's on the phone to this company, she's going, and the couriers. So
and I think she was coming. Didn't I, saying the courier? The courier. Curry.
Courier.
Not curry.
I can't talk. I can't speak actually because I really struggle with certain words.
Yes, 26.
26.
So if you're doing something on the 26th of August, Mum says
26.
26th of August. Yes, but I get that if it was the 26th. No, the 26th of August. Okay, what about the 27th?
27th.
Yeah, you wouldn't say 27th.
28, because it's got
Anyway, angels, welcome back to the YouTube channel. If you're just joining me now, then you will not know Mum, but this is my mum, Deanna. My name's Imogen. If you aren't new here, then you will already know us. And today we're going to be doing a girl talk video on my channel with my mum and me, just talking. You've sent me loads of questions on the Instagram, so I thought let's cipher through some of them, answer some really open, honest questions.
Hey, hey.
Hey, hey. Right, I'm planning a wedding, but my partner's parents have split up and are on bad terms. My partner also doesn't like his father's new wife. How do we combat this? Do we invite just his parents or parents and partners?
You have to go parents
Broken
and partners.
families is so hard, isn't it?
It is, but you have to act as if everybody's normal, and you just have to, and if anyone's going to kick off or say anything, you're just like, it's our day. So.
But then that's the thing, in that respect. Is that our door? Who's the door banging? Do you hear that?
No.
Can I speak to him? What's happening, mate? Hello. Hi. I don't. I'm rubbish. I'm sorry. I need to get one. That's okay. We're working on a Sunday. Fair play to you. Quiet. Yeah. There you go. Let's get a seat. Yes, of course. Be sure to talk to anyone you want. Have a nice day. See you later. Oh, she was sweet.
This is
Really sweet. She was hungover. She was working on a Sunday. She was like, I'm hungover.
What's wrong?
Yeah.
She hasn't got a ring doorbell then?
No, she said you haven't got a letterbox.
Oh.
You need to get a letterbox. We haven't even got a number on it.
Recorded it.
Yes, we're still here.
That is so funny. I love the way you went, oh, for God's sake, who knocks? And
then I like, yeah, she was really sweet.
Yeah, how are you?
I know, but I thought it was, basically there's this matey, love him, but he's the every guy, and he comes so late out of his shift, bangs on the door, like, and I'm always like, oh, just put it down. He's like, wow, and he shuts so loud. And
So
I'm
if you're
like,
watching.
he won't be watching. He doesn't like YouTube. But you're saying it's your day, but do you see it on the flip side? Like, if he really doesn't get on with them, does he even have to invite them? Because he's paying for them to eat. He's paying for them to have their...
Oh, he doesn't get on with them, the groom.
The groom, yeah.
Oh, no, that's
My
different.
partner doesn't like his father's new wife. Doesn't like or really dislikes.
I don't know, because not every person or family likes the person you're with.
True. And also, you and Dad, you know, you've gone through lots. And you were fine at my wedding.
Yeah.
Because I think you'll be surprised, people come together more.
And Dad and Pete were fine with each other.
Yeah.
In fact, Pete danced with his dad.
Yeah.
A bit of alcohol normally makes people strange anyway, but...
Dad was like...
So, at the end of the day, as long as there's no
friction on the day.
Or
well, yeah, you don't want drama.
No dramas.
No. I think invite. I know what you mean, because someone said to me once when we were planning a wedding, would you pay for a 5-course meal for this person? Because that's what you're doing. But I think if you just dislike them, I think it'll create more drama between you and your...
Sometimes you have to rise and be the better person, and then maybe the relationship will change, but if you don't invite them, it'll never be forgotten.
But then who are we to say it's your wedding, you should do what you want to do? Yeah. I get that it's hard.
Give them a £20 meal in the corner.
Yeah. I think weddings are hard. I think weddings are hard. It's about the guest list, and that's why we went away on abroad, because you can limit who you invite.
And the thing is, I think we did on my first marriage. I'm on my 6th now. No, I don't.
You're essentially Henry VIII. All of those stories in the Daily Mail about you.
I know. But basically, I think that, well, on my first wedding, that it was a lot of money. I mean, it sounds nothing now, but it was £12.50 a head at the Ship Hotel in Brighton. And we were like, we didn't have much money at all. And we invited, well, your dad did. He wanted to invite all these people he worked with.
And you don't speak to them anymore.
We never see them. And it was like, we had no money. We went on our honeymoon and we're broke.
Yeah.
We were brassic. I was like, I think I had bread and wine.
This is the thing. Smaller families are better. No, I'm joking. But honestly, just invite who you want to invite and make it for your day.
It's your day.
It's hard.
But you've got to be happy. But on the other hand, if you don't have to have much to do with them, probably just stay away and just put the proviso there that, you know, you just got to sometimes tolerate people. But if you really can't tolerate them, then just be honest. Just do what you feel's right. You know, none of us can say we don't know the situation and why that person
or blame it on finances. If you really don't want that person to come, just say,
one.
listen, we don't have the money to be shelling out for her as well.
Yeah.
Does she understand that? Or if it's going to create too much of a divide, just get her involved.
Yeah,
you know?
Definitely.
Right, next one, Huns. Here we go. I find social situations difficult because I don't drink like everyone else. I feel like an outcast because of it all. And all my friends do is... And all my friends... Okay, sorry. I read that and I read it wrong. All my friends do is go out. What all my friends do is all they...
It's the pregnancy.
You read it then, hun. You read it
out.
out.
My glasses are
exactly. All my friends do is go out and drink. So what she means is what all my friends, all they do is go out and drink.
Yeah, so basically, welcome to my world,
so
Imogen's world.
Yeah, so I miss out on the time with them. They aren't interested in doing things that don't involve alcohol, so I'm not sure what to do.
Be yourself.
Because she doesn't like social situations. I get it. Yeah. So I like social situations and I don't drink. So I feel like those environments I feel okay and comfortable with.
Yeah, but
if
then
you don't
sometimes
like them,
I mean, I don't care for alcohol, but sometimes you don't always like social situations. Yes. I don't always.
True.
And I get what you mean. You do feel really uncomfortable as everyone's drinking. They go, why don't you have one? And you're like, why do I have to have a drink to have fun? So I would just say be happy within your skin, and if you don't want to drink, don't drink. Keep sticking at that. You know, there shouldn't be any pressure for anyone to drink.
Yeah,
but
what she's saying is her friends, they just go out and drink. So she's like, when am I actually going to have time with them? I think you should just say to them and be honest and say, guys, because I get what you're saying about social situations. I loved clubbing, but didn't drink.
Same as me.
But I don't like loads of social situations. Like, I get really nervous for so many things. But when I'm there, I'm like, woo.
There's always pressure with drink anyway, isn't there? Wherever you go, it's like people always think you should offer alcohol. It's like, what? Not everybody drinks, and they look at you as if like you're a bit odd. And I say to people, I don't need to have drink to be crazy or have fun. I am myself.
If you don't like it, you don't like it.
Exactly. And everyone should be true to themselves. But yeah, just say to them, should we go for a coffee? Maybe say to those friends, can I go for a coffee one afternoon? Because I love going for coffees. It's my thing. Yeah, coffee and a cake.
Got a nice comfy seat.
Yeah, go for a nice afternoon, for a walk on the beach. Try and do a daytime thing with those friends if you're not getting anywhere and they always want to do evening stuff. Just say, hey, love to go out for a daytime.
Cinema.
Lunch. We do those things. Don't we? It doesn't have to be expensive.
Those are my favourite things.
Yeah, mine too. Just go for a little lunch, a little walk on the beach, a little chill out. Even if they want to go to a pub or bar, let them have a glass of wine, of course, and you drink nice, mocktail or something like ginger ale. I love ginger ale. What I tend to do, actually, funny enough, and it really is lovely, is when I'm out with friends, you might try this as well, is if I am wanting to not drink alcohol, which I don't, I often ask for a wine glass or a gin glass, and I have ice with a ginger ale in it, and it is really nice because you feel part of it without having to have the alcohol and the feeling after alcohol sometimes. And so that's another way of combating it as well.
I think it is hard in society. I do think there's a massive movement for no drinking, more so now. But I just feel like it shouldn't be pressured either way. If you want to go out and drink, drink. If you don't want to drink, don't drink. And I feel like what I've always had is, you don't drink. We'll just have one though. Oh, we didn't put that on pause, did we?
And the washing machine. Shall I go and pause it?
Washing machines live longer without alcohol.
Why does everybody sing that song? It's got to work both ways, I suppose. If people, it's choices, isn't it?
Yeah.
If people want to drink loads and keep drinking and drinking and drinking, then that's their choice.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be fair if we kept saying that to them either.
No.
So we can't say it. So it has to work both ways.
100%.
So if your friends' choice is to drink, fair enough, that's their choice. If you don't want to drink, if you find that, and you don't need to drink, that's fine. Find something else, or just be honest with yourself and say, I'm just going to have a ginger ale, and just let them drink. Be happy about them drinking.
None of my friends don't drink. Like, all of my friends drink. Really, the only people that don't drink in my life are you. Dad doesn't really.
Your brother.
Jacob and Spencer. But lots of people think that because I'm with Spencer, I made him not drink alcohol. He literally doesn't want to drink alcohol. I can't force
He's
him.
not stupid. He's not.
I know.
He has got his own brain. He
But
might
honestly,
seem
people
quiet
think
and
he's on this
everything,
like leash.
but
No.
I've seen Spencer. When Spencer doesn't want to do something, he doesn't want to do it. And if Spencer really wanted a drink, I think he'd put his foot down and say, I actually want a drink.
Thank you, Mum. Thank
So
you, Mum.
that's
Thank
his
you, Mum.
choice. And if he doesn't and he thinks that's
Also, I
the
think it's a
reason-
discredit to him because not
It's
only
like
does it
making
make
him
me
sound
sound
like
like
a
a
weak
tyrant,
person.
it makes him sound like a
Weak
complete
person.
sheep and weak.
Yeah.
He's a man. He's got his own saying. He tells me, doesn't he, Mum? No one thinks he puts me in my place. He does. Doesn't he?
Yeah.
But I really hope that you can find a sort of common ground with them where they can go, because I lost a lot of friends when I left London because they'd message me and be like, do you want to go on a night out? And I'd be like, should we just have Netflix and chill night?
Yeah.
And no one wants to do that with me.
But that's give and take, isn't it? So if her friends want to drink all the time, fair enough, do it a little bit with them and just like I said, drink the soft drinks. But also say, hey, I don't always like doing that. Be honest with them and say, I don't always want to go out where you guys get drunk and I feel a little bit like a sheep and I'm not involved with anything because I feel like I'm missing out. Can we do a bit of what I like as well? So it's balance.
Yes.
It's all about balance.
Yeah, I agree.
Life is balance. Isn't that what
100%.
Renalia is? Virgo, balance.
Is that what it actually is?
Yeah, I think it
I
is.
think it is the scales.
Yeah. But that's why though, if something's out of balance for her, she doesn't like it.
Do you think?
Yeah, if something's not right for her.
But then the balance for me, there is no balance. There's either I'm so happy and elated and I'm absolutely on top of my game, makes us laugh 24/7, or I'm going to be a moody tyrant.
Maybe it's moving.
So maybe it is the scales, yeah. I love her.
I love her.
She's
She's so
amazing.
cute.
What are you going to be like, sweetheart?
Just as gorgeous.
Do you believe in right person, wrong time?
Do you believe? I
Do
do.
you? Oh, what about Cher?
Do you believe?
What song is that?
Oh, it's from Legally Blonde, I mean. Do you believe? I do. Do you believe?
Oh, Mum, good girl. I bet you don't know anything.
I'm really rubbish at lyrics. Ask the people I do the shows with.
I thought you were going, do you believe in love after love?
That was written by somebody that didn't get the claim, didn't it? Do you remember that?
What?
That song.
My dad sounds like Cher when he sings.
Does he?
He's like, I'll show you something later, by the way. Adam
We're very
Lambert.
butterfly brains,
Yeah,
aren't
but
we?
you've got to look it up. Adam Lambert, he's brilliant. He does.
It's amazing. Jacob introduced me to him.
He went on Jimmy Kimmel and they made him sing nursery rhymes as Cher.
Oh no.
And he's like, do you know the Muffin Man?
You're good at it, that's right.
Nah, got it.
All I do is watch your mouth. Okay.
But do you believe in right person, wrong time?
Yes, but no. Yeah, it is. It happens.
Yeah, but no, but yeah.
Yes, because circumstances come along in life and sometimes timing is poor and it's not the right time. But then when is the right time? If you let that person go...
But I do agree. I do believe that. I do think
Yeah,
that
I do.
there are points in your life where you could have met someone. I didn't ever have this. I never had right person, wrong time.
Actually,
I had
I
wrong
did.
person.
I did. I had someone like that.
Did
really
you?
Nice, yeah. But I was married, so I wasn't interested. But he was lovely,
But
absolutely.
you don't know because you weren't with him.
No, that's
So he
true.
could have been lovely on the outside. I think these
Yeah.
people sometimes, you think like, you can look in someone's relationship and be like, oh, how magical
Oh
are
God,
they?
everybody does that.
But
or
you
hasn't she got
don't
the
know-
most perfect life?
Yes.
And you can be completely lonely or
Yeah.
something.
Yes. So I do believe it. I do believe it. I've never
No, I
had
do.
it. But I
I
do
do.
believe that people have that specific, like, you meet someone, you're like, our journeys are different. I'm going to New York to work and you're here.
But if
or-
they're meant to be, my believing is they'll be meant to be.
Yes.
So if they're meant to come back and your paths
Yeah.
are meant to cross. So I don't think you should change the way your direction. If you really are adamant that's the way you want to go, just because somebody else comes along. If you really believe that there'll be something and there'll be connection, you'll be together.
Yes, and I also really
I
believe
believe
that
in
if you
destiny.
force things, it breaks anything.
Yes, it does.
Like whenever I know, like let's say it's so silly, but let's say like a brand get in touch with me and then my manager messages me and is like, this is a really exciting campaign. I'm like, oh my God. Then I don't hear from them. And it used to be the same when I had like an agency audition and I'd go to an acting audition. I'd be calling my agent like, have they done any callbacks? Have they done any callbacks? I would never ever get a callback.
Yeah.
If I leave it and you forget it,
Yeah, it's the
you get the
best.
call
Yeah.
of this has gone through.
Yeah.
I think if you force the world,
It's
just
almost like
goes-
they sense that you're trying to be too pushy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed
Yeah.
that. I've had that as well.
Isn't it weird?
And it's just like, be quiet, just leave it.
Yeah.
And people go to me, ring them up, find out. And I'm like, no,
Yeah.
sis, why are you not doing it? I just like, because I don't believe that's the right way. It
Yeah.
will happen if it's going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
Because I do think we force it and it goes the wrong way.
Yes, doesn't it?
Yeah, I've had that as well.
Or like you see one magpie and you're like my day is going to be rubbish, but actually
No, I
it's because
celebrate them.
Yes, but I'm saying it's in my head. I used to do that, and then I'm like, oh no, because I've probably, and sometimes I might see 2 magpies and I'm like, joy, the day's going to be amazing. I have an amazing day, and then I think to myself, I think it was the same magpie that just jumped over the fence and came back, so it could have been the same. Do you know what I mean?
I just speak to them and go, hi, nothing positive, that just...
I know, but you and Dad got the magpie thing for me, and Spencer never knew what a magpie looked like. Now when he sees one, he's like, fuck's sake. He's like, why'd you have to tell me what they
lovely
look like?
though. They're beautiful birds, but they're awful.
They're
they
not very
still,
nice, yeah.
They still nest.
No, they're
and
not
things,
very
don't they?
nice.
It's a bit like the, is it the cuckoo comes over, or the woodpecker? No, the cuckoo.
And
That
it-
does it as well. Sure. Oh, we got the most beautiful bird in the garden making its nest. That's the funniest story.
I put it up on my Instagram. It's so sweet. There's a little bird that keeps going.
pigeons,
It's a
the two
pigeon,
pigeons.
and the pigeon's obviously nesting, and she's obviously going to have a baby. It's literally next to our house. I can't quite believe it because I feel so like,
Perhaps she's going to have a baby at the
know.
same time as you are.
oh my god, it's going to make me emotional. How long do they nest for though?
I don't know. We need to do that one up as well.
But he's coming every day. He will fly and do this journey for these little twigs, and he'll walk across the top of the next door neighbour's like what is
Called?
it? A gondola.
Gondola.
It's
No. Veranda? No, not veranda. I couldn't think of the
Going
name.
off the
See this little gondola? Because everyone's got a zip wire across in the sky.
Oh my god. I went gondola, you went, yeah, gondola. Oh my.
It's not, what is it?
Pergola.
Pergola. Pergola.
Pergola.
Pergola.
He's got a pergola and he's got like that top bit where it's like a
Yeah,
when he walks on it.
across.
And all you hear all morning, he's done it for 4 days now, and some fell last night, we saw, didn't we? But he's making this wonderful nest for her.
And then I'm climbing up
and he goes
trying
like
to
this.
put it back on.
He goes to the end of the pergola and he goes, and then he goes, and it takes him ages to pluck up the courage, even though he swims.
I think it's because the
Even
angle of the
though-
houses swim. Even though he flies. Even though he flies.
Do you know what though? When I was younger, I used to get a bit annoyed when my mum would be like, Imogen, and she'd go, Jacob, Hugo, Ben, Freya, Imogen,
Do it.
and then I'd be like, Mum, my name's Imogen, hun, and I'd be like, God, she never thinks of me. Now I get it. I get it because I go, I'm seeing the word Spencer in my head, and I'm like, Hugo, Grandma, and I can see Spencer there, Renalia. No, honestly, it's so bizarre. The other day, my friends were around.
It's a mum thing.
And I could see this word in my head. I was like, I could see the word. And I said to Lou and Bailey, I can't say it. I can't say
It's
the word.
weird, isn't it? You get like a...
Yeah.
The brain doesn't want
It's like
to...
you're tongue-tied. Essentially, I'm like, and they're staring at me, laughing. They're pissing themselves. And I'm like, baby brain is a real thing. I don't think I've ever got it back.
I remember when I was taking the mickey out of for it, like you get really forgetful your first child, and they actually had a program many years ago, this is going back 30 years, and they showed that the brain actually does shrink.
But you know
But
why
then
it
it
is?
does come back, it's because it's taking all the blood and oxygen to the baby.
And also, your brain works in a different way because you are on alert for your child. The other part of your brain isn't comprehensive as well.
So amazing being
It's amazing. Okay, so yes, we do believe in
We do procrastinate, I can say that word.
Is it normal to not feel ready to do the deed yet at 21? I feel so behind, but it makes me feel so anxious.
no.
You're not behind in any
Why do
way.
people think you have to hit 60 and have sex?
It's the legal limit. Let me have sex now.
Oh, for goodness sake.
No, I think there is so much pressure though. There's so much pressure in society.
I was such a funny girl at school. I remember everyone else was like, I've lost my virginity, I've lost my virginity. I was like, I'm so proud I've got mine. I'm keeping it. And I was so proud. I was like, why?
Yeah.
Why would you just want to lose it? And just like, for who? Just for the sake you've ticked the box.
Yeah, I think that is unfortunate though, Mum. That is such a big pressure for so many
boys
kids.
should not feel pressure because it happens to men as well. And
Yeah.
you know, I don't ever pressurise my children to think that they have to do it at a certain age or they shouldn't do it at all because it's a very natural thing.
Yeah.
You know, so much.
Well,
hang-ups
you and
on
Dad
it.
were strict when we were younger, which I actually liked though.
Yeah,
you weren't
that's-
strict like don't ever have sex, but you were very like
Yeah.
you need to do it with someone you care about, and it's
Yeah.
fair. And you used to educate me on that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and then we wanted you to just be honest about it.
Yeah.
I didn't want it to be something that you felt you had to sneak behind your
No.
parents' back and Although they all probably did, but hey, let's not go there.
Freya won't when she's older though.
No, she's quite open, isn't she? But who knows? She may change and think that's something that's really private.
But I think Freya's more open with you because you are around more than we were when I was younger.
I was working.
You're more open. My dad was really strict when I was younger. Not so much now, obviously I'm older. And he got way more liberal when you liberal.
I worked on it. Well, I did work on him a lot as well.
Yeah,
I used
you
to
did.
say, don't be like, they don't need to be like that with them.
Yeah.
I've always just been so open because my mum's the same. My mum's always been so open and direct.
She
about
still
things
is
like
now.
that. Yeah,
she loves
is.
it. She was telling everyone all these sexual things in my party.
You need to get mum on the chat.
I need to get grandma. She's brilliant.
She will make you laugh.
No, she'd offend too many people.
No, we just have to tape her first. We'll have to put
edit
her
her out.
cards.
Have to edit her out.
She's that generation.
Yes,
if
she's
anyone
that
knows
generation.
What we're talking about.
She's that generation.
Yeah.
There's loads of flies coming in. It's because of the white walls. But yeah, please don't feel pressured. Don't go out and do it just to get it over and done with because it's not something you need to.
No.
You don't need to go out and get it.
No, you don't have to tick a box.
No.
Be comfortable in your own body. Your own skin is your body.
Yeah.
And just because you've done it, what you say, like, I slept with someone that I really didn't care for and he was horrible, and you've ticked the box, wow. So how are you going to feel about yourself? Just do what's true to you.
Yeah.
And no one should feel pressured, even if you're 30, 35.
If you do want to go out and lose it to some randomer, then that's your prerogative.
And not everybody wants
encouraging it.
sex.
Do whatever
Not
you want to
everybody
do.
wants it.
Yeah.
You don't have to be like
Yeah.
that. Some people cuddle, there's things like tantric sex, which isn't, and it's just
Some people
much
are
more-
asexual and don't have a sex drive.
I
as
have a
much.
friend that does that, and it's like nothing wrong with it. She's going, who? But
no.
People don't have to all, do that. People don't all have to have children. People don't all have to conform to a certain way. We live in a very liberal society now where everything is much more relaxed.
But we still have so much pressure on anything. Like when you get engaged, it's when you're getting married, when you have a baby, when you have one baby.
we all
Like
do it.
I already get the question now, when do you want your next? I'm like, I haven't even birthed this baby yet. Do you know
I
what
must
I mean?
admit, I do it when I'm talking about like babies, when people have a baby, it's because I'm probably such a maternal person that I get excited. I'm like, okay, so you've got another one. Will you have any more? And I'm like, but I don't mean it as
maybe
in,
it is coming across from that
that
side
I have
of
to be
things.
careful because people may not be able to have another one.
Yes.
Things happen, so you have to really think about whether that person wants another one or something.
True.
So,
I think that just comes with open talking though. Like I think you're educated by learning about the things you say.
Like we've got a relative that she only wants one child.
Yeah.
And I find that really bizarre. But that's my own feelings and thoughts, and that's not putting that to her because that's her choice.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm like, really? No
Because she'd have
siblings?
loads and she wants loads. But
That's
exactly.
my choice,
But
and
you'd
that's-
never turn around to her and say, oh my God, you're only having one.
Yeah.
Because that's her life and how
Exactly.
amazing that she's going to
Exactly. So you
raise
hold
that
on
child.
to it
Yeah.
as long as you want to and don't feel any pressure.
And she might not be able, we don't know. She might not be able, you don't know everything, do you?
Exactly.
Some women might be saying, I don't want more if they can't have more, or they just don't want more. Or some people just don't want children. Lots of people
And that's
message me
fine
all the
also.
time saying like, when did you know you, I think that's one of the questions actually. I actually think that's one of the
But
questions.
getting back to the girl that's just asked that about, just to say that it's your body, don't feel pressured.
No.
Do it when you feel comfortable and the right person is there for you, if you do it at all. And you don't have to tell anyone. You have to justify. You don't have to be embarrassed, or you can be proud. Be completely proud. I think it's a really good thing to sort of keep that and savour it for when the right person or when you feel comfortable. So never feel pressured into doing that, and just be true to yourself. That's all.
Sorry, I
can
wasn't
say.
being rude looking at my phone. I was looking for another question. Just that follows on to, I guess, the next question of someone asking me, like, when did you know you were ready to have, when did you know you wanted children?
When I was 12.
Yes. When my mum and dad had Hugo. It's so weird to think, though, because that's Freya's age. But then Freya talks about things like that.
Oh, Freya would love
But
children as well.
I was so, like, I speak to Jake about it all the time. He felt the exact same when Hugo was born. Like, we were like, I don't know, I guess I grew up with you and Dad and you are so maternal. You both wanted to open a children's home for foster children. Like,
It can have the other effect. And my other son, obviously, he doesn't, because he's seen the children growing up.
Hughes.
Aaron, so it puts him off because he's
so
like,
he's not your blood.
no. But then,
So maybe it is genetics in us that we have that instinct.
yeah, maybe just all more maternal.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe that is it.
He will want them. He'll love them.
Oh, he will.
Oh
he
my
will.
God, when he was around Moo.
Oh yeah, he
loves
loves
her.
children. Yeah, he does.
Yeah, but it's all about different timings. Or maybe he won't want them.
No, I know he does want them. He does want them. But I think sometimes children, when you grow up with them
give
as
you a
older,
contraception.
can be like, yes. I think we joked about it once. And we can be like, oh, I don't want kids. Or so. But I think generally all of you want children, don't you?
Yeah.
You're going to be so funny as a dad.
Yeah.
Got to look after himself first.
He won't forget his phone and keys, he'll forget his child.
Yeah.
And he'll be like, I've left the kid inside. Oh, he's amazing. But yeah,
Actually, I think Dad did that once. Left you outside in the buggy, or left the
apparently
dog.
back in the day it was
People
fine.
used to leave their children outside
shops.
Woolworths.
Yeah.
In their buggies. And we used to leave the dog out. And I remember Dad left Tuscan out, no, Phoenix, or Tuscan. And he walked home, started walking home. He thought, I thought I came in with something. And he left the dog tied up outside the shops.
But I see stories about people all the time that don't necessarily feel ready for children, and then they accidentally fall pregnant and they say it's the best thing that ever happened to them.
Yeah.
Or vice versa. Some people are like, I just don't want children. Greg James came out recently and was like, stop asking us. I don't think we want kids. There shouldn't be a pressure on someone. If you want to have a child, I think you'll know. I just think you'll know. And if you don't, and it's something that just happens to you, then what a blessing and what an incredible thing.
Yeah.
But you honestly do not feel pressure in this life to feel like you have to create life, because you're living your own life. And if that's something that you want to do, like I have always wanted to have children. I feel so grateful that I get to have them. I do. I feel blessed every single minute of the day. And that has obviously been inherently in me. You know, I literally, if I'd met Spencer when I was younger, I would have absolutely had children from when I was younger. But saying that, how do I know I was in a different position? You know, we have a house, we're very lucky in that sense. So I felt like I was ready then. Spencer, when I first met him, was really desperate to have babies straight away. He was like, right. When we moved in, he was like, babies.
I remember that. I knew that straight away with him.
And I was like, Spency, you need to give me a little break. Like, I don't trust men. I need to fully be completely involved in, you know. So, but I just think there's never a right time to have a child.
No. People always say, I'll wait till I've got this, or
Yes.
wait till I get a house. You never really, unless
No.
you're loaded,
No.
you never afford children. But what I always found with them, because your dad and I were really hard up in the early days, is what I found with them, and I say to lots of people who think about whether I should have a child or not because they think their situation's not right and this isn't right, and they look at all these fourballs, whatever they call them, in the air and go, oh, that doesn't work because of this, and they want everything in place before you have a child. Life isn't like that. Nothing's in place. How do we know? You know, things happen for no reason around the corner. You know, we lose loved ones. Awful things happen to friends of mine where they lose loved ones, you know. So life is unpredictable. So there's never a right time. So I don't think you can ever, and I don't believe in planning too much. So I'm very much like, try and be spontaneous as you want. Try and think of, you know, when people moan at their children for the smallest things, and you see stories of very sick children and people that are struggling, and you think, don't get it in perspective, you know.
Yes,
Look
but
at how
then you
lucky
also
we are.
see on the other side where some days you just lose.
Oh, no, that's fine. No, that's absolutely normal.
I get what you're saying.
I'm talking about little things, you know, choose your battles.
Yes.
But getting back to where I was going with this, which I completely forgot.
You're talking about how, like, there's never a right time. People moan at their children because, then, you know, you've had friends that have lost their babies and stuff like that, and it puts it in perspective.
It does, definitely. But I think also you cannot plan it, and you cannot say you never have enough money, because we didn't have enough money. We never
had
had
the
enough
best
money to
childhood.
have our children. But yes, you had a lovely childhood with all the things that, like, you know, that's probably why Jacob's the same as well. He just, like, doesn't need lots of things. He can entertain himself.
That's what Hugo loves so much about
Yeah.
him. He literally can do
But
something for free.
We do that a lot. Our
Yeah.
children mostly love things like beach, doing things that you don't have to spend a fortune. You know, don't have to go to all these activities and pay for all this, because the best memories that our children ever have is
Mum is very good with money. You're very good at you're very good at managing it, and like being like, let's cut back the costs here. Even if you are in a position where you have a little bit more money, you are very good at being able to, and I need to learn more about that from you, because I do think you are. And I grew up around two parents who, oh my God, we'd have the cheapest orange juice, but they'd freeze it in the freezer, they'd crush it, and we were like, this orange juice is hands down, because we'd take it to the park and all my friends would be like, oh, you've crushed it, it would make like an ice lolly, and it.
But your friends loved coming to us.
Yeah.
You know, you had rich friends, you had everything, but they still found days out with us. And it still goes on now with, you know, Pete and I, with our children. Our friends' children love coming out with us because we do nice, simple things with them. We spend a day, we just play in the garden.
Yeah.
And children like that, we just go for little walks in the forest. And I think the thing is, if everyone said I could never have a child till I could afford it, there wouldn't be many children in the
I
population.
agree.
Because, and what I was, the
Little
other thing...
Mum.
The other thing I was actually getting at, which I completely digress because I have got a butterfly brain,
Sorry, it was me interrupting my mum.
what also I think I was going to say is that it inspires you. No, it inspires you.
Yeah.
When I've had children, I'm not going out there saying have children when you're in a really difficult relationship or things that,
difficult,
you know,
yes, of
awful,
course,
and
financial
don't ever
positions,
do
yeah,
that.
of
I
course.
would never,
Oh
you
my
know.
God,
sort of-
blame Deanna.
No, don't ever do
They'll
that.
turn up at your door.
But what I'm saying is, if you love someone and it happens, if there's an accident or something happens, or oh my God, we didn't plan it this way, if you feel happy about it and you both feel comfortable about it, you will thrive to change your jobs, you'll do more, they motivate you. don't they? You know, like,
Yeah,
even
I do.
with me, I'm like, okay, we need some more money. Do I need to take a second job on?
Yeah.
Would I do this? You just
God,
drive.
everything I do now is for my babies.
Yeah,
like
you do it.
everything.
You do.
Before I'd do it for like me and Spencer to have like nice holidays. The nice holidays or the things I think of now are for the children. I want them to be able to have things that I can have accessibility to do things with them. They are my motivation. They're my drive.
But it drives them when they see parents that are driven.
Yeah.
It really gives them, there's statistics on it before where they show that children who have been brought up with parents that are driven and go out and want to work and do things, that goes on to often more of those children, and they sort of learn to go, actually, I want a purpose, I want to do stuff, even though, you know, working is boring at times.
Yeah, this girl I met recently, she goes to Glastonbury and does catering, and she takes her children with her and they work because it isn't a, you know, it's not a drug-free festival and stuff, and she doesn't want her children going off and round there, but she makes them work and they love it. And I said, that's an incredible thing to be showing
She's
them.
opening their eyes to it as well, to say, look, there are drugs around, there are this, but you don't need to do it to have fun.
Yeah,
you know?
and I just think, yeah, I agree with Mum. Like, I don't think there's ever a right time for anything. No. Like, I remember thinking, oh my God, we've got a house, like amazing. We renovated this whole house. How fortunate were we? But I was going to the toilet in the garden. Like, we were living at my dad's Airbnb, you know, and I'm grateful that we were able to renovate. I'm not saying that, but you know, 9 months pregnant without having a shower, a kitchen, a bathroom, living at my dad's Airbnb, changing rooms every night. Like, was that ideal? Yeah, brilliant. Because, oh my God, now, this one, I don't feel so guilty that I can't stop so much because I didn't stop with Renadia. And I feel grateful that we've got this house now. You know, like, I think there's never a time where you can go, this is the perfect time, perfect man. Because how do you know anything in life? There's no guarantee on anything except who you are as a person.
But never feel pressurised to have a child just because somebody else wants it.
Don't.
You have to
Lots
have
of my
your
friends.
You have to be. It has to be. It's your body.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, and I know we talk about equalities and things like this, and obviously you've got all these sort of diversity now, which is great. But no one should ever. If that goes down to also a woman or whoever they identify as, they, them, whatever, should never feel pressured to have a child because somebody else wants them to have it.
Lots of my friends when I said
the
I was
other way
having,
around also.
Yeah.
You know?
Lots of my friends when I said I was having a second baby were like, oh my God, all my friends are having another baby. Like, it wasn't in my plan, and it's not. But I get it because there's pressures as a person in general, but we just have to try and not let society form our lives. And
I think I never felt like that with any of you and Jacob. I've never felt like it with any of my children. When I had Jacob, it was a little bit unexpected because I was a honeymoon baby. Absolutely loved it though. I was very young, you know, I was 20. Had you, I was sort of hoping, but we didn't really go, oh, we planned it. But I thought, and then it happened and I got a girl and I was really over the moon. So I had boy, girl. With Hugo, he wasn't planned. But you know, we just got on with it, and they're all adorable children, and you know, and then I had Freya.
I love how I was the one that was planned, but was the hardest child, although Hugo was the hardest adult.
No, I think someone said this the other day. I said, don't worry. I said, the hardest children will end up being the most loving eventually, because they do, and most caring. I said, but they will give you that little bit of a...
Freya was a really easy child, and she's a loving adult. She's not an adult yet.
Yeah, but I think it's just personalities, isn't it?
True.
Different personalities. I don't think anyone's harder or just more challenging. Challenging in different ways. That's how the brain works, isn't it? Our brains are all different.
I wanted to do loads more questions, but I don't think we... Okay, let me do this one. What happens when a boyfriend hangs out with a girl I don't like or get along with?
Well, that would wind me up. Am I supposed to be honest?
Be honest. I wouldn't like it.
I'd hate it.
I wouldn't like it. But I don't want you to feel like we're being like that, because obviously you know how I have to handle this on my channel. I have to be very both-sided because it's really hard to have an opinion on the internet because everyone fucking comes for you, whatever you say. If you say you don't like cats, my goodness, everyone attacks you for not liking cats.
But you do like cats. It's not you don't like an animal, it's just your preference.
No, I was scared of them growing up because of the cats next door. But now, like Susie's cats, I loved Susie's cats. Millie and Cookie, do you remember?
You just met
Ruby
the wrong
and
cats.
Millie.
You just met the wrong cats. And we had horrible ones next door. They'd come in and pee all over the cot.
Yeah, they sprayed all over Hugo because they weren't...
Awful
it was
neighbours.
awful.
Oh.
It was awful.
So getting back to this girl with her...
But yes, so... I wouldn't like it. I wouldn't like that because I would. But then it's how long have they been friends for? Is it really awkward?
What is it about her she doesn't like?
Yes, true.
That's the thing. We haven't got the background detail.
We don't know.
We can't really say. We can generalise.
Because if you just don't like her for not
liking her, if she's an absolute nasty piece of work and she's horrible to you, then that is really difficult.
Yeah.
Because sometimes men stay friends with people, or anybody, not just men, because they've known them for so long, but they don't see it. Whereas women are very intuitive. Sometimes we overthink, but we're quite intuitive to certain things about a person. And I had a friend like that years ago, many years ago, and everyone was warning me about her that she was a bit like strange, and your dad really thought she was okay, and I thought because we were at the time we were going through a lot with you nearly coming, and I had to keep going to hospital, and so we sort of really thought,
Did I try to come early?
Yeah, I had to go back in. I was really weird every time I had popcorn. We worked it out. But...
Me and Hugo tried to come early.
Yeah.
Not as early as Hugo.
No.
30 and
about
32 weeks.
Yeah, about 30 weeks. Yeah, so I went in a few times to hospital. So this friend was quite good at the
We're
time.
the most highly strung. So we must have been like, get us out!
Yeah, I want to get out of here. And and I at the time thought, okay, and then bit by bit, it started to shine through what she was really like, and then he started to see it. But I think the thing is, the more you go up against someone and say, I really don't like this person, I don't want to be involved with them, the more they go to them, they gravitate to them. So find out, just have a common ground. If you have to tolerate this person, just try and tolerate them when...
But if this person is making you and your boyfriend
see them.
And if it's causing friction because of something they're doing, then your relationship has to be a priority over that person, because essentially that's your person forever. But if you just don't like, we don't know why you don't like them. Yeah, true. So we can't really say anything. But I think in our relationship, me and Spencer, I'm the one that's more like, I would not see, I guess because I was younger and I used to get walked all over a bit, I have been through and scorned maybe by lots of different women, friends, boyfriends. So I feel like when someone's a red flag, I see it. Spencer does not see it.
I know, I think we do as women anyway.
Yeah, but I did it when I was younger so much. I was a bit naive. I always wanted to see the good in people.
Yeah, I still do that.
But Spencer doesn't even want to see the good in people. In that sense, he's amazing. But he just doesn't see... I'm like, that's a bit manipulative. And he's like...
I think they don't know, do they? Certain people don't see it.
True.
It's really hard because we're all made differently, even if you're... But I think the thing is, when I feel like that and I don't feel my other half is respecting my opinions, that really winds me up, because I'm like... I think as women, we can be very intuitive to sort of want someone's... We can get it wrong. Lots of people get it wrong. And some men are, or anybody, it can be intuitive. But I think sometimes I get quite a strong sense of a person. But if someone was flirty with my other half and they were a so-called friend, then I would
it crosses a boundary.
Yeah, then I'd be saying, no, this is unacceptable.
Yeah. Unacceptably flirty, not just like a little bit of banter.
Yeah.
The pushing the boundaries.
So if that was what's upsetting you because they're too close,
yeah,
then you maybe need to be honest with him and
just
say how they should feel.
Yeah.
And see if you can go from there with it. But if he doesn't respect your feelings, then you need to question why.
But now Spencer will meet someone and be like, he'll come home and like debrief me on how I would have, and I'm like, you have got it to a T. I'm like, because I genuinely believe he knows me. He's around me 24/7, whatever. I think he knows me better than anyone's. He can go, actually no, you and dad, obviously, you made me and I am you. But he will literally be like,
but he knows things as you're growing up though and getting older.
Yes, and he'll be like,
being a
and
mum.
I'm like, oh my God, you are so good. Like, you know how I would have felt, like if we're at a party or something, or like a social environment or something, and someone's a little bit rude or maybe backhanded or a bit passive aggressive, he'll be like, that wasn't very nice, was it? And I'm like, you see it now.
Yeah, it's good though. That is good.
Yeah, because then you've got your team.
See, people
but
don't...
he's still beautiful with people. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say, because people don't ever see that I could be shy about things, but Pete is the only one that can see I get shy or
I know
awkward
that.
in situations. So sometimes people might think I'm being off. Yeah. But when I go quiet,
or really over the top,
and usually it's covering both ways. It's a cover that I'm just getting through this because it's quite hard, or when I go quiet and I'm reflective, it's because I actually need to be like that at that moment in time, and I just feel awkward in the situation. I feel shy. I actually feel quite shy.
Around my dad.
Huh?
Around my dad, you're like that.
Yeah, I just get embarrassed. I don't know. Just get shy.
Yeah, in front of dad, you go really like into yourself. You're not. Oh, some days you're like if he pops around quickly or something, but I can see that there's that. But then obviously you're not together anymore, you're divorced. Like, there was a lot of things that happened, so there's a lot of things there. But I find that that's the time I see you the most into yourself. Like, if there's any other situation, like at my birthday and stuff, and you feel like you're there, I feel like you were thriving.
Yeah.
But then there's also times where you're like, you just want to be on your own, and I know that because I see that, because I am like that.
Yeah, and I never thought that was me though when I was younger. I always thought I was the life and soul of the party, had to be there, had to be the clown. And my friends used to say to me, one of my very close friends used to say, you're like that song, The Tears of a Clown, when it was, is it The Tears of a Clown?
Emily Sunday?
It was,
no.
No, when there's a smile on your face. When there's a smile on my face, it's only there trying to fool the public. But when it comes down to fooling you, it's the Tears of a Clown.
Never
Tears
heard of it, but loved it then. Mum loved the
song.
rendition.
It's an old song. It's called The
Beautiful.
Tears of a Clown.
But I see it because I am like that. Like
I did it as a survival though for my childhood.
Like when we did those things online, my older brother was an introvert extrovert and I'm an extrovert introvert. So I'm probably the loudest person in the room and like the biggest, like I love to be a comedian, but also before I go there, I'm like, I fucking don't want to go here, Spencer.
Yeah.
I'm like, I hate it. I hate everyone. I'm like, I don't want to be there. And then I get in there and I'm thriving.
Yeah. But we're actresses, aren't we? Though we know how to go into right. We've got to we've got to get through. We've got to survive.
Yeah.
I think that's what I've always thought of it as.
Yeah.
You've got to survive. But now I'm quite happy in my own skin. And I think I don't have to go in and entertain everybody. There are certain people who know me as the jolly D, the funny one, and so I play up to that. And of course,
but it's hard to be your true self. Do you not find sometimes?
Yeah, it is because people say, "Oh, you never used to be like that." Yeah, and I'm like, I had it all through childhood.
You seem down today. You seem really low.
At school, because I was loud. As soon as I was quiet, I thought, get too much attention. I don't really want all this attention. I'm doing it for the wrong reasons. Yeah. So I'd sit there and I'd just go quiet and everyone would go, at work, they go, "You're right, you're a bit moody." Yes. Okay, and I was like, now I can't even get away from attention because I'm still getting attention.
Yes.
And I don't want the attention. I want to just be quiet. And people are like, must be something wrong with her. She's never quiet.
You just want your own space.
As I've got older, people see that I'm more like that as well. So I think I've got a balance of it.
And I do think it becomes more inherent as you're older. Like at my 30th birthday, as much as I absolutely loved my friends and family being there, I was also like so anxious because I felt like I had to spread my time, divide my time. I felt like I wanted to make sure that everyone was okay, and I felt I didn't.
That's us though.
And
we
that anxiety
that
was
everybody's
like
okay.
was a lot.
Yeah, I think we always try and please everybody.
But when I was younger, I loved it. I would have been the centre of attention at every party. Even someone else's birthday, I probably would have
Jacob could be funny, couldn't he? Sometimes he could be really loud and bubbly and bouncy and run the place and be chatty. And other times he just liked to go into his little shell. Yeah. But he was never like it a lot.
But you're allowed to be whoever you want to be.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. I think we'll end it there because I think we've been speaking for 42 minutes.
Wow. High five. We need to do more of these.
God. We do need to do more of these. I think we should do them all the time. People love mum, don't they? Don't they? They love your grandma. They think your grandma's the best.
Mumu loves me.
Mumu loves. Oh my God, she had a paddy earlier because I wasn't even allowed to push the trolley.
Because I had to.
Okay, so grandma push it there.
That fly loves you. You've got a little baby fly around your hair.
Probably because I smell so good. Do I not?
Yeah, I think you could say I smell horrible.
Do I smell it?
Yeah, you do actually. What is that?
Thank you.
That is
Don't
nice.
know. Don't know what it. Probably next. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed this open chat. No judgments. No. Yeah. Hope we haven't said anything to offend anyone.
Yeah, I'm sure we haven't. If we have, it wasn't ever meant intentionally. No. So it's just supposed to be.
Worrying, isn't the internet? You literally go. You just feel like. But I see some people that come on the internet. They're like, "This is my opinion," and then they get hate for it. But they're like, "I don't really care."
Yeah.
But I just don't. I worry for the other side.
I know. But the thing is, we can't be everything to everyone, can we?
No, we can't.
And no one wants us
to be. And we're also allowed to be entitled to your own opinion.
I love the way you said it's done 42 minutes.
Okay, I love you. Bye. Until next time, I'm going to love you. I'm going to leave you. Bye. God, I'm going to waddle now. Look.